I am J-Man on this edition of The Pulse. I'm giving you guys our WWE SummerSlam 2015 review. I'm just getting off the air on the WWE Network. A lot to cover here, so we're going to go ahead and get this kicked off. We had an opening segment here. We had the SummerSlam host, Jon Stewart, come out, basically talked up Brooklyn. I think he said Brooklyn maybe 17 times during this promo. Yeah. No sleep till Brooklyn. Hey, Brooklyn, what's up? How's it going, Brooklyn? SummerSlam, Brooklyn. You ready for this shit, Brooklyn? Brooklyn Brawler. Was Brooklyn Brawler there? He wasn't there.
I think he said Brooklyn Brawler.
He might have said that. It's unfortunate he didn't make an appearance.
I don't think
but yeah, talking up all the matches and all the names and stuff like that. Got to the Lesnar Taker match and saying he needs some help for this, so he brought out his good buddy Mick Foley, saying he made a call and Foley was putting over Lesnar hardcore. Stewart was saying how he's an Undertaker guy and talking about the streak being in it and stuff like that. And Foley, putting over how much of a badass Brock Lesnar is and this and that, how fearful he is of Brock Lesnar and all that, the intimidation that Brock Lesnar puts in him and all that kind of shit. Yeah, and then just being like, yep, he's scary. Okay, let's leave now. It was just like, what the fuck was that? And then it went into the intro for SummerSlam, and that was it. Kind of just a random, it just seemed very just choppy and just thrown out there. Like it was just, there it is, like type of thing. I know that Mick Foley's like, well, when you said, you need some help, we were talking about Brock, I didn't hear the B part of it, and I just heard Rock. And I thought that you were talking about The Rock. To me, that's another thing random that they mentioned The Rock and then not having him be on the show either. So I thought that was kind of an interesting little facet to that open too. And then just ending the segment, be like, yep, Brock Lesnar's pretty scary. Let's get out of here. And then they just left. So yeah, I wasn't really all for this intro. It was kind of and opening segment here. It's just kind of random and it just kind of whatever. But yeah, that to kick off the SummerSlam, a little bit of a random and just whatever type of start to that.
Yeah, I was a bit confused about, I thought he brought Mick Foley out, and, well, he said, oh, Undertaker's one of my guys, and I'm totally against Brock Lesnar, and then he's like, call my hardcore legend, Mick Foley, and then I thought Paul Heyman was going to come out there, and I thought Paul Heyman, Mick Foley, and Jon Stewart were going to be in the ring talking to each other, and I just, almost shit my pants. I was like, that segment could be absolutely hilarious and just completely genius. Jon Stewart is great and he's hilarious, but throughout the show he came off kind of weird.
Yeah.
It came off kind of weird, kind of forcey. Like he was, I don't know, just some of the stuff he did and said. We'll get to some of that, but
it just seemed like he wasn't it almost seemed like he wasn't told what to do. Like he almost was just running around the arena doing whatever the fuck he wanted. He looked like he just woke up out of bed and he was just like, I'm the host of SummerSlam. Nobody tell me what to do. I'm just going to do whatever. Yeah. And it really felt like that. He was just like a little Where's Waldo? And all of a sudden Jon Stewart popped up. And I was just like, no.
Yeah, the segment was weird and they did the whole thing where he said, I was on the phone and you were like, every time I talked to him, you were busy, and then I called you back and you're like, I'm busy, and I called you back and you're like, I'm busy. And then I thought you said I need you to come out and talk about Rock with me, but you actually meant Brock. And then I got here, and 2 minutes before I walked out here, we're talking about Brock Lesnar. And I was like, I don't want to talk about Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, I don't want to go Suplex City. That man scares me. Blah, blah, blah. And then that's it. The segment was just random. So it kind of made us think, okay, they're going to set up some kind of dealio with Stewart doing something in this main event. And now I was just like, ugh, I'm not feeling that. But
just random and confusing.
Just
really opening to this show. We kicked off the show. We had the same matchup that I saw live at Battleground last month. We had Randy Orton and Sheamus kicking off the show.
Yeah, these guys had quite a few matches with each other. You'd expect this to be kind of a stock Raw or SmackDown match with these guys, but I thought this was pretty decent, actually. It was a pretty decent opener. They did some pretty cool stuff here. I think these guys actually work pretty well together. I think you're just so used to this, combination of, throughout the last year, Sheamus and Orton and Cesaro and Rusev, all these guys kind of just mix and match each other and have just singles matches on Raws and SmackDowns against each other. And you're just like, whatever. But this match was pretty decent. It had the crowd shitting all over Sheamus for the way he looks, and he got on the mic, an opening of the match, and was like, oh, I don't look stupid, I'm blah, 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 this, blah, blah, that, and, you know what, as a fan, looks absolutely ridiculous, but, sitting here thinking about it more, you're just like, man, Sheamus is a heel. He's doing the absolute right thing by making himself look ridiculous, because the fans hate nothing more than like someone who just looks completely ridiculous. I mean, other than maybe Ryback. I don't know why Ryback gets over, but the fact that he's doing this, he may think that it looks fine, or he may also be like, hey, this looks ridiculous and people are going to hate it.
I think the first time he came out, he thought he looked badass.
Yeah,
I think when he came out looking like that, he's like, oh, I'm going to look hard, like heel and shit. And then they got the reaction and be like, no, I guess not. Whoops.
Yeah.
And they just kind of
and it ran well, and it worked well, as instead of making him look badass, he looked like ridiculous, and the fans hated him even more. Out of the whole show, I don't know if I had heard a louder pop as a boo than for Sheamus. Like, he got booed hard. Like, people do not like Sheamus. And it's just consensus. People just don't like him. Like, and that's great for wrestling, because if you're not being booed hard or you're not being cheered hard, you're not doing anything. And
but it could also be, to play devil's advocate, it could also be just pure booing because they just don't want to see Sheamus. It could be true. It could just be the fact that they just can't stand him, just period, and not really because he's a good heel.
That could be true. I don't find Sheamus as a great heel.
No.
I respect him as a in-ring person. I think he's he can work decently, and he carried a decent match here against Randy Orton. They went out here and just had a decent opener, a little bit better than what I thought it was going to be. So. Not bad to kick it off here.
You look up stock WWE style match, you find Randy Orton and Sheamus. I really don't have anything more to say about this. I've just seen this match so many fucking times. I mean, it like we said when we were watching it, it's never anything terrible, but it's never anything great. It's just always there. And it's just, it could always deliver an okay quality match, and that's what it is. It just never is anything. These guys are just kind of there, and it's unfortunate because, obviously, like he was saying, Sheamus is a quality guy in the ring. Obviously, his character leaves a hell of a lot more to be desired. But Randy Orton is something that upsets me because I am a big Randy Orton fan. I have been for many years, and seeing him just kind of just flutter around, just doing whatever, having lackluster feud after lackluster feud and doing absolutely nothing is unfortunate. And I think to get him solidly behind something would be great. We looked up a picture earlier today that was on a previous SmackDown a couple weeks ago that had a picture of a backstage segment before I think like a big 8-man tag match with Randy Orton, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Cesaro, and that looked like the fucking new generation of a Four Horsemen. It looked badass. Like, do something cool like that. Form a new, like, kind of legacy type thing where he's the leader as the veteran type of guy with some young guys. Do some shit like that with him. Just something. Like, besides just him coming out and just whatever. Here you go, Randy Orton. It's just something new, hopefully, is what I hope for, because revitalizing of Randy Orton is something that I've looked for quite some time. But yeah, you look up stock fucking WWE match, Randy Orton Sheamus is going to hit you right in the face, and that's what you got here. But an okay way to start this show, and there you go. Next matchup, we had the Fatal 4-Way matchup for the WWE Tag Titles. We had Champions Primetime Players, Lucha Dragons, The New Day, and Los Matadores. This was pure entertainment, man, from start to finish. It was a fun, spot style tag, Fatal 4-Way. It really started out pretty much like the pre-show tag title match at WrestleMania this year, and then really got elevated a little bit better. Got some more time. It got a lot more spots. Towards the tail end of this match, it was just bodies flying fucking everywhere, man. There's Big E doing the spear spot at the outside, the shit with the Lucha Dragons. The Matador had the fucking bowl flying all over the place. Primetime, Titus O'Neil throwing motherfuckers all over the place. And New Day just, continuing to, I'm getting on the Ryan bandwagon with this. He was there from day one, man. He was there from fucking day one. And when you give it a chance, they're pure entertainment, man. And they're all talented guys. I never doubted that. They're all hella talented. They give the effort that they need to try to make this failing gimmick work, which is what they're trying to do. They're trying to make a failing gimmick work. They're doing the best that they possibly can with it, and they are doing the best that they possibly can with it. The more shit that whatever they did tonight, continue that shit, because that is like New Day to the max. Everything they're doing there, the randomness, because that's me and Ryan to a T. Everything that happened tonight with the New Day would be if me and Ryan were a goddamn tag team. Everything you saw, the random gyrations of a Big E and Kofi celebrating his win and fucking gyrating on the fucking ground all retarded and shit. This was just entertainment. Had us laughing our asses off, had us marking out for fucking spots and shit. This is one of the more fun tag matches that we have seen in quite some time in WWE. And as I said, the New Day getting the win here, this was entertainment. I mean, this is fun as fuck. And just watching Big E just gyrate for the win and just in the middle of all the guys and shit with his fucking... That's fucking hilarious, man. And that's some good shit. And that's pure entertainment. And that's really lately what you've been getting with the New Day. Now the two-time champions for the New Day getting the win in this four-way matchup.
Yeah, this is awesome. I can't think of a tag match they've had in recent memory that's been this fun to watch with the amount of talent they have in here. You got the primetime players who are that team that I think WWE wanted to get behind. I think that they have the gimmick, they have the kind of look. I don't know if they're gonna be able to withhold that standard, because there's some real good fun tag teams going on right now, and I definitely like primetime players, but man, they're just not as good as you'd want them to be,
or how high we were on them a couple years ago when they should have got the tag titles back in like 2012 or something, back when they should have got that run.
Yeah, and we're not by no means saying
no, we love
split them back up.
Yeah, we love the primetime, but we wanted them to put the primetime players back together as soon as they broke them up.
Yeah, it was
because
silly.
They do work well together.
But as a whole, this was, like you said, a crazy fun style match. The Lucha Dragons did some cool spots. They did like a corner like flung Sin Cara flung Kalisto into a complete rotation and did a 450 and landed on one of the guys. That was super cool spot they had. The spear spot with Big E was super cool. There's dive spots, all kinds of fun stuff here. But man, the thing that got out of this was the New Day, man. They were great. Like, oh man. You can just see from when they first started, the first couple weeks when they were out as the New Day, to where they've evolved to now with the fans. Because the fans loved this.
Yeah.
At the end of this match, the crowd was chanting New Day, and there was a couple, a portion, like a 10% to 15, 20% portion of the crowd who were saying sucks. But the rest were just all, loved it. They were super entertained. And that's what it is. These guys who, took this gimmick that was just failing, and they transformed it into, these guys just being hilarious. They are just hilarious. You just go out there and give them microphone time. Let them just do fun stuff. Let them just act themselves and just be goofy. It's golden. It's comedy gold and this entertainment gold. And the fact that all three of these guys, I mean, two of them for sure can work.
Yeah.
But Big E, he's not a bad big guy. He can come in there and with a tag team, he works well. But this was great. And the fact that they got titles back, I thought maybe Lucha Dragons would have got him here. But putting them back on New Day is great. Whether or not they have the titles or not, they'll be on TV getting the airtime, doing little ditties, doing little fun, little rapping and saying all kinds of random stuff. And, Xavier was on the outside saying all kinds of, it was just great. This was really, really fun stuff, and I'm glad that they, are continue this thing and letting these guys just go out there and have some fun. Yep. So definitely one of the better tag matches they've had in recent memory.
Yeah, can't really think of one in recent memory, but good stuff there. New Day, the new tag team champions there. Next matchup, we had Dolph Ziggler going up against Rusev. Obviously, Dolph Ziggler making the return last week, setting up this this feud that's been going on for quite some time, last couple months or so. Obviously, everything going on with Lana and Summer Rae and flipping the gimmicks and stuff like that. Was looking forward to seeing what they deliver here. Pretty disappointed really with what we got. It seemed like a lot more setup, continuation of the feud and continuation of the angle. You get that sometimes on the bigger shows. I remember, over the past couple of years, well, really not the last couple of years, but, in previous years, we've seen it, at a WrestleMania where they'd sometimes you do continuation of feuds and usually have the blow-off and, an Extreme Rules or something like that the next month, and it ends up being the better match and, the culmination of that stuff. So, obviously, this is the one that they're going to keep continuing with Ziggler just coming back this past week. You're going to definitely see that. I had a thought of possibly, if they weren't going to book, because it looks down the road, they'll probably end up doing some sort of mixed tag or something with, adding in Lana and Summer Rae, you had their interaction in this one. But this was decent. It was okay. It really didn't get the full effort that you could see with these guys, because I think they could put on some good stuff if given the time and the opportunity to do so. But really a continuation here. They did the double count out finish, which is another classic, everything they're doing with the feud and the continuation of everything that's going to be going on with this. So obviously you're going to see, more to come with everything going on and involved here. But this kind of was what it was, and obviously just the progression of everything going on with all four involved in this matchup, and ending obviously in the double count out, nobody getting the victory, but obviously more to come with this feud and this angle.
Yeah, this wasn't horrible. This wasn't great, but like I said, a continuation of a feud, and both these guys can get in there and work, and it has a storyline, and it's something that they're trying to really push forward and work with. All this talent they got really flying around on the car on every week now. You gotta. I feel like eventually you're just gonna have to start doing something super entertaining, super important for you to keep yourself on TV and keep yourself going. And without Lana and Summer Rae in this feud, I think this would get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. Without Lana,
everybody
Lana, they were just chanting Lana the entire. We want Lana. She's out there.
Right.
She's there.
And it's not that people don't care about Dolph Ziggler.
Right.
It's not people don't care about Rusev as a wrestler. It's just this is just it was always just an everyday. Your guy stole my girl and blah blah blah, and that gimmick, and that whole storyline or whatever. But it's always been entertaining. But the fans are all about Lana, and that's what your vocal point of this angle is, to get these guys over. A lot of times in wrestling, nowadays, well, even ever, I don't even know why I'm saying nowadays, if something works, just go with it, and if Ziggler breaks away from this feud and Lana's still with him, that can completely boost Ziggler up even higher with someone that the fans care about. The fans already care about Ziggler, but putting that, we've talked about Ziggler having a girl with him forever.
Yeah.
Doing some angle where they were heel, and didn't they do something like Vicky or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. But that's whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like Ziggler's one of those guys that, I don't know, where the talent is right now. I feel like he deserved a main event run a couple years ago. Now where everything is running, I see it hard for him to get that main event push anytime soon, or maybe ever.
Yeah.
And it's bad, but it is what it is. But this, like I said, this is whatever. Decent match. Wasn't a giant stink egg, but it was okay.
Yeah. Next up, we had our superheroes versus our supervillains. We had Neville and Stephen Amell going up against Stardust and King Barrett. I can't remember if I talked about this first or you talked about the last one. You go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, I think you talked about that.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Playing up the whole comic book superhero angle here. This was cool, and this is exactly what I thought. I think the thing about this was the fans were wowed by a guy who has never wrestled before and probably only has 2 weeks worth of training. He did a springboard in the air and jumped and landed right in front of Stardust's face. He jumped in the air, and he moves around really well in the ring. His career as an actor doesn't work out. If this man gets some real training, he definitely could get in there and do some stuff. But the whole thing was to get him in there and just do some cool stuff and have it set up like a superhero thing. He really wasn't set up like Arrow, like I thought he was going to be. He came out in some kind of gear that's like that. I don't know if WWE got the rights from CW or whatever Arrow station. I think it's CW.
Yeah.
To do that stuff, but as a whole, this was fun. It wasn't like it hurt or anything. It was just there, and it was kind of entertaining. But Neville and Stephen Amell getting the win here. I think it was the Red Arrow and Barrett.
Yeah.
And whatever. It was just whatever.
Yeah, this was okay. I feel his whole entire Stephen Amell saying that his whole entire usage on WWE, I was totally fine with.
Yeah.
To me, he got in. He's an athletic guy. You could tell that just by his look. The promo that he cut with Triple H, building this match was fine. His interaction with Neville and everything, I know they were on the pre-show. That was all perfectly fine. I mean, he was just... To add in, they like to do the celebrity thing. They like to add in sometimes, and, they had... Maria Menounos wrestled at WrestleMania. They've had numerous, Floyd Mayweather and everything that they did with him and stuff like that. So they've had numerous occasions where they introduce, celebrity into their bigger shows. And yeah, I was totally fine with this. And I think it's a good way to use a celebrity by... This is what I could say. This was the perfect way to use a celebrity in matches that aren't important.
Yeah.
When we get to the World Championship match, I'm going to show you how use of celebrity in important matches is a bad idea. Because this was fine. Using a guy in, a lower mid-card kind of feud going on with Stardust and Neville, and throwing Barrett in there, and then throwing, Stephen Amell in here, and having him get a little, do a couple arm drags and the drop kick and the springboard and the little shit that he did to the outside stuff. I was totally fine with this. And one thing that really impressed me was he didn't let it get to his head. He wasn't like cocky about it. He wasn't like, oh fuck yeah, I'm the star and all this kind of shit. He seemed very humble. He seemed appreciative for his opportunity to be able to be on this show, and he knows and almost you could tell in the back of mind, hey, there are guys that have busted their ass for 20 years in this business or however many years or this and that, and I get an opportunity to be on this show, and those guys, some of those kind of guys don't. So I felt like he was appreciative of his opportunity. He was humble about it, and I felt that they went about it the right way, and I was totally fine with this. So I feel everything that they did with him is totally cool. And yeah, if the Arrow doesn't work out or whatever the fuck doesn't work out, he could take Baron Corbin's spot in NXT for all I give a shit. Give him some more training, and he'll be good to go. Fuck it. Yeah, totally fine with this, and Neville and Stephen Amell getting the win in that matchup there. Next matchup, we had to have the laugher in here somewhere. We had the triple threat matchup for the Intercontinental title. We had champion Ryback against The Miz and against The Big Show. As we pretty much coined it, it was just how many more people could we shove in to look like absolute just dumbasses with just ridiculous fucking gear and just people that we just don't ever want to see on television, really, just period. You just had, as I think you titled it, the Sith Gaylord.
Sith Gaylord.
The Sith Gaylord, which is now his nickname. It's the Sith Gaylord, The Miz. We had the Big Show looking like just a, what did you say? He was a, what the fuck was sign was he?
Just like a roadblock.
He looked like just a Under Armour roadblock sign.
Yeah.
And then Ryback, of course, is just his, colorblind self and, can't match colors for shit. Because he just is out there for every 10-year-old that wants to create a shitty wrestler on SmackDown versus Raw. I would say 07 tonight. I'm going to say SmackDown versus Raw 07. I said 08 before, and I'm going 07 tonight.
I can tell you right now, as a kid, I would have never created that piece of shit.
I never would have created it. Every fucking character I created was always just somebody cool around that time that I liked in wrestling. It was always like, yeah, that guy looks badass, and then I would like be wrestling with him. I'd be like, I just made Edge.
Yeah.
Or I'd be like, I just made AJ Styles is all I just did pretty much. But yeah, I mean, that's what I would usually do. But, that's what a 10-year-old would do, but maybe not us. Just, I guess, your average everyday 10-year-old would probably do.
Right.
Your brother would make Ryback.
Ooh.
He might.
My little brother's big favorite wrestler is Dean Ambrose. He loves that Dean Ambrose just comes out and wears jeans.
So he would make just a Ryback. He would make Ryback the size of Ryback wearing jeans and a shirt. And rugged hair and shit.
Yeah. Ugh.
He's got to have some sort of Ryback qualities to him.
Jeez.
Just some weird shit on him. Yeah, this was just whatever. It was fun to kind of just, I missed the only fucking spot that I wanted to see, which I guess was Big Show attempting a senton or something.
Yeah, he did like a flip up the middle rope. He did like a front roll senton.
Robert just kept saying he fell over, but apparently Ryan kept saying that he did a senton. Either way, I wanted to see it. And,
he rotated his body and did a flip.
Some sort of flip.
He looked like you know how you would like just fall off like a diving board.
A living board?
A diving board.
Diving board?
The diving board.
Yes.
And just you won't actually get the spring to do the flip. You just kind of fall forward and
that
do
was
the flip.
kind of almost like Paige in the women's matchup as well.
Yeah,
so it was almost like that. So, yeah, and not really anything else notable. It just felt like almost like Big Show and Ryback were just fighting over the last chicken leg, and the chicken leg was The Miz. They were just like trying to pin. It was just whatever, man. It was exactly what you would expect this to be.
Just whatever,
I mean,
man.
it was a triple threat match with Ryback, The Miz, and the Big Show. That's pretty much the exact perfect way to describe it. And Ryback getting the win. I don't even know how the fuck he shell shocked Big Show, and then I don't even know who he pinned. I literally whatever. Ryback's still your Intercontinental Champion.
Okay, Miz being one thing, whatever. You know, what he's doing, whatever. Like, I think, he just does that, what he's doing on purpose because he thinks it's, like, I don't think he thinks it's cool. I think he just does it because he thinks people are going to, like, hate it.
No, he knows it's stupid.
And
where Sheamus, I think, started out thinking he looked badass, Miz went into this totally knowing he looked like an absolute fool.
Yeah, and Big Show just continually just trying to prove that he shouldn't retire by doing moves that I've never seen him do before.
Big Show continuing to prove that he shouldn't retire by doing things that shows that he should retire.
Yes, yeah, perfect. But the thing I want to get to right now, you heard it first on the Pro Wrestling Pulse. You ready for this? I do not think I have absolutely hated the way a wrestler has looked more than I've ever hated how Ryback looks. Ryback looks obscene. Like, he makes me want to, like, throw up. Like, for God, oh God, I cannot believe, like, it's asinine that they literally just, like, yeah, man, you're good to go. Go out there and wrestle, man.
Like a human, you look like a human version of a shark dressed up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah. Literally, Ryback is a human version of a shark. It literally has a shark's brain. Like,
in face, in teeth.
Yeah,
everything.
Like, I literally have no idea who is allowing him to look like this. I cannot believe they let somebody look like this. I'm serious. If people seriously think that is okay, fucking kill yourself.
Well, you probably just told a whole bunch of 10-year-olds to go to kill themselves, because that's probably the only people that think it looks okay. I'm getting you that motherfucking tie-dye shirt, dude. I'm getting you that one.
Oh my God.
Wake up, it's feeding time, bro.
Okay, here's the issue, okay? I don't give a shit about this match. It was 5 minutes, and it was poop.
Did it even get 5 minutes? I think it did.
I think it did. It was what Robert said. Robert called it 5 minutes, though, which is not a hard call, but...
Not a hard call.
You called it, Roberto.
It was.
Okay, people. He's wearing... a green singlet.
Yep.
And then underneath that, on the leg part, was red.
Yep.
Then he had armbands that were black that had orange R's on them. Then he had an orange T-shirt cut off.
It was blue. It's blue tie-dye. Like, it had tie-dye. It's like a tie-dye dark blue, and then it has, like, orange writing on it.
Oh, my God. Dude. Oh, my God. God, he looks just like a... God, he looks fucking horrible. He's just like... Just a fat Skittle. Just a deformed fat Skittle. I'm highly offended by Ryback.
He literally looks like a potato head. I mean, he's literally a human version of a potato head that you could put anything on. You could color with a permanent marker.
What did I say about Mick Foley earlier today? If Mick Foley
shaved everything off of his body, he would be a human version of a potato.
Yeah, I said that.
I said he looks like Luke Harper's dad.
Yeah.
He really does, honestly. But
jeez.
Ryback's still your Intercontinental Champion. Workhorse title.
Oh, well, not to mention the title is white.
Yes.
The title is white.
The title needed to be around somebody else's waist tonight just to add the whiteness to it.
Jesus.
Oh, fuck. We'll get to that in a minute. Next matchup, we had the Wyatt family of Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper going up against Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, this was good stuff here. I don't know, man. I'm unsure of how I feel about this. The match itself was good. I think that they did a lot of cool stuff, but this is just kind of where things are confusing to me. What's going on? It's one thing, if you want to make Roman Reigns a face and have him do his thing, I feel like understandable. If you're going to make him something out of nothing, great. He should be the Intercontinental Champion. He should beat Ryback for the title. He should go on and do an Intercontinental run. Ambrose should be heel. he shouldn't be face anymore. It's frustrating to watch him do what he's doing. The fans love him, but the fans are going to really love him when he's a heel. And that's just how it's going to be. Luke Harper coming back, fine. But I feel like they were just losing faith in Bray Wyatt. I just get this, like, horrible, like, feeling like they just feel like it's working. You know what I mean? I feel like the fans need to tell him that Bray Wyatt is working. His character's working, and, like, it just seemed, this match just, not like the match seemed irrelevant, the win just seemed irrelevant. Like, the fact that, you know, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose won here, it just seemed irrelevant. Like, it felt like it didn't mean anything. Like, it didn't seem like a big deal for Bray Wyatt to lose. You know what I mean? And it's a guy who they considered wanting to push to the heel level for a long time, or heel level. I mean, main event level as a heel. But you're looking at a guy that, you know, I'm sure he'll get his chance in the future, hopefully, if they don't lose faith in what he's doing. But it's just kind of frustrating to see, like, I don't know, I just get this bad vibe. Like, they just feel like he's peaked. Like, his character's peaked, and, like, there's just, he's done the thing, you know? He's done the whole thing where, well, he's gonna, next month, you know, after this is done, this feud's gonna end abruptly, and then he's gonna disappear for 3 weeks, and then right before pay-per-view, he's gonna show up in the middle of a big match against somebody, break up a different feud that needed to be broke up for a while, and then face somebody else, and the reason being is what? People believe in you. They shouldn't believe in you. They should believe in me. Like, what? Like, I don't know. I don't think they should go back to the drawing board with Bray Wyatt, but I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel the match was good, but this match just felt weird. It felt weird in the sense that, like, they just kind of didn't really care, like, about what was happening here, where in some other matches in the show, they wanted to have twisty endings and, you know, screwy shenanigans. This is the match I thought that should have had some shenanigans. I think should have been a heel turn. There should have been a new member to make Bray Wyatt's stuff going fresh. Like, I don't know. I'm not losing faith in Bray Wyatt. I want him to be a main event heel, and I want him to face the Cenas and the Rollins and those guys and be in the main event, because he brings that character, and he can definitely get in there and have a good match. I don't know. That's what I got out of this match more than anything. The match was good. It was a good match. I enjoyed it and had a lot of excitement, but it just felt weird. It just felt like it kind of was out of place, like, with the booking. It just, I don't know if you feel the same way or not.
Yeah, I'm absolutely on the same page. This match was okay. It was totally fine. It was pretty much a stock, you know, main event SmackDown match where they gave time, basically. But yeah, this match needed to have something happen in it.
Yeah.
Something had to happen in it, because it's literally the match of stalling, stale guys that are just kind of doing shit. Roman Reigns just kind of staled off after, you know, his main event run and everything, the main event match that he had at WrestleMania. Dean Ambrose has just been stale for fucking, I don't even know how long, forever. He's needed something fresh for a very long time. And Bray Wyatt, like you said, is just getting misused and underused, and everybody's losing faith in him. And I don't think that's his fault. I think it's just he can't. He pretty much seems to produce everything about the character, but the material that he's given isn't worth how great the character is. And it just deserves so much more, and he deserves so much more as a character, because his character is brilliant and it's great. And I don't want to look back on his career and say he was, 10 years too late, or he was 15 years too late, or something like that. Normally you look at a guy and say he was 10 years too early, or he was ahead of his time. You look at a Bray Wyatt, he was a perfect guy that would fit in like an Attitude Era type feel, and you don't want to see that kind of character just be so fresh and be like, okay, we have this genius idea to do this, and it's stuck in this PG era, and you can't do anything, interesting or anything just that is deserving of that character. He needs some sort of spark or something to just to to just kick that character off a little bit more, because the beginning of it and the start of it, everything that happened in NXT, the vignettes and the promos that were absolutely amazing. Some of my favorite vignettes, and for a debuting character that I've ever seen, were all amazing, and it was all great. It was super fresh, and it was super unique, and it was needed. It was just a character that was needed, because you missed, the Undertaker kind of has his things here and there, the Mankind character and everything that he was, in the past, and those kind of guys that are just a bit off center and a little different, a little on the dark side and stuff like that. You need that type of character. And he fulfilled that, and he was seeming to be the future of that, and they just continue to just misuse him and just be misguided. And I'm sitting here and not giving you fresh concepts and not giving you guys ideas of what they could do with them, so I really can't say much about it, but I'm not getting paid to do so. If I was getting paid to do so, I'd be sitting here all fucking day thinking of great shit that Bray Wyatt could fucking do, but those guys that do don't have shit for them, and it's unfortunate. And yeah, it's collaboration between the talent and the creative, but they just seemingly have nothing, because the standard is, I'm going to tell, like he said, I'm gonna attack a guy in the middle of a falling off feud, and spark one with him, and I'm gonna feud with him for absolutely no reason, seemingly, in 3 months, and lose the feud more than likely, because he's going after somebody higher up on the card, whatever the case may be. Lose that feud more than likely, and continue to fall off with his character, because the more you do that, the more you do the same, the same bit and the same material. People will start to fall off and not give a shit, because you're giving them the same exact thing over and over again, and you don't give them any different outcome. You give them the same thing over and over again. And he deserves so much better, because we are huge fans of Bray Wyatt and his character and what it can provide for professional wrestling, because it is not even close to the full potential of what it could possibly be. So hopefully we can see that in the future.
Someone needs to drop a pipe bomb.
Yeah,
there needs to be something
huge.
Out of these guys,
right.
Luke Harper, whatever. But out of those
right.
three guys, one of those three
dudes
needs to break off.
Yeah,
and and do something to spark our interest, other than just being stale guys.
Yeah,
because
like we were saying, Dean Ambrose is a guy that we have wanted to see heel since he came into the damn business, since he came into the damn company. Because we've seen what he has done, in the past on the indie scene as Jon Moxley and the amazing heel that he plays and everything. And he's just a watered-down version of that, a face version of that, and not even to that potential. So what he could produce as a heel would be amazing. And just, and Roman Reigns is kind of just doing his thing. He's just there. He's just whatever. But he's another guy that, needs to evolve and needs to change and do something to, spark more interest in, because he's continued to fall off over the past year or so. So a lot of these guys need some sort of spark and some revolution to their and evolution to their fucking characters, and we just didn't get it here, and it felt like we should have, because it was just a lot of guys that really needed it here. But yeah, I mean, this was, like I said, it just felt like a quality main event of a SmackDown, where it just got time, and it just kind of was there, and you wanted something to happen, and nothing happened, and it was just okay. But yeah, Ambrose and Reigns getting the win there, but obviously, the extent that we went on with that, you could say that we need some change with some of these guys that were in this matchup, because we desperately do. And it's because we care about a lot of them. We care about, Dean Ambrose, we care about a Bray Wyatt and what they can do for the future of this company, because, man, they are just some uber talents, and just, oh man, just so much potential with what they could be doing, and the misuse and the misguidedness of their characters is just really unfortunate, because we want more from those kind of guys, because man, they're talented. But yeah, Ambrose and Reigns getting the win in that matchup there. Next matchup, we had the winner take all match for the WWE World Championship and United States Championship, when World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins went up against United States Champion John Cena. Really looking forward to this one. Obviously with the talent involved, talked about it in the preview, is just ridiculous, the amount of talent that is in this, and how great John Cena works. This story goes on and on with the indie guys that he's worked with over the the past couple years, and having a Seth Rollins can't get much better than that. Before the match started, obviously, with the entrances here, with Seth Rollins as the world champion, just whited out motherfucking white Power Ranger looking motherfucker.
The meme's already up.
They're already, like, as soon as he came out, they were already up. I feel like I was okay with this. Ryan, not so much. I was okay with this. To me, it was like his take on Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 12. And if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, hit the tab button, open up another one while you're watching this video, and type that in. It was just the all-white gear and a couple gold hearts on it. Didn't have as much gold in there, pretty much fucking 99% white. To me, all I think he needed was just a little bit of black in his boots and maybe in his belt, maybe somewhere. A little bit of black somewhere in there. But he was just fucking whited out, motherfucker. Like, just needed that IC title, just like we were talking about, earlier, just the all whited out IC title. You couldn't even see the motherfucker. He's so whited out. Yeah, I was fine with this. It's just that, and you had John Cena in his black jorts and fucking Seth Rollins in his all white fucking gear. Had us going back to what we're doing right now and doing our little retrospective on WCW and watching some old school WCW back in '97, and Jeff Jarrett was there with his fucking all white gear and the little strips that he had, just looked like a fucking warden in heaven, bro.
Yep.
Jesus is warden.
Jesus is warden.
Just
the prison guard for the heavens.
Heaven's warden, Jeff Jarrett. God, we were having some fun doing that shit. Jesus, if you guys get the opportunity and the time, do that shit because it's fun. Grab a buddy and watch some old school wrestling shit on the network. It's a great time. But yeah, just white it out Seth Rollins. Fuck it, why not? Just white Power Ranger, dude. Yeah, this match was great. Delivered exactly, pretty much everything that we saw on their Raw match. Went the paces. Seth Rollins just busting out a lot of high-flying shit in this matchup, which was great to see. Nailed a motherfucking frog splash that I don't think I've ever seen anybody get to the heights of. Dude, he was up. He had the extension and the fucking the crunch of the frog splash done like fucking 15 feet in the air, and he was just elevated, falling down on him. So that was awesome. Had a Phoenix splash spot in here. This was some great stuff. You had the same reminiscence of, like I said, what we saw in the Raw matchup, and the crowd was totally behind it. Everything was great about this. Then you had the ref get knocked out, and I had a feeling that there was some shenanigans, that could be going down. I know they had. A couple SummerSlams ago, they had a Money in the Bank cash in, in the championship match, and it's always a big moment, and obviously the second biggest show of the year. So you could look to maybe a cash in or something like that, and obviously not being in the main event either on this show, and with the kind of way they handcuffed themselves and the way they booked the stipulations for this matchup. Having the ref get knocked out, and then having Rollins go for the same knee spot where that he broke John Cena's nose a couple weeks ago on Raw, having him knock the spot out, and they're kind of both, staggering around and exhausted from the match. And we have fucking Jon Stewart come out with a chair, again, just where's Waldo, just confused, just woke out of bed and grabbed a chair, and just came out into this awesome championship match and decided to fuck it all up. Was confused. He was playing off the whole I'm gonna go towards him to hit him, but do I want to hit him? But he came in almost going straight to hit John Cena, and obviously playing up the angle of everything that happened a couple months back with Seth Rollins and John Cena, having Seth Rollins show up on the Daily Show and then having Jon Stewart on Raw, and it was all a great interaction at the time. I thought it was all great. Jon Stewart knows his shit. He obviously pays attention to the product, and that's all great when you have celebrities involved that understand the product. Stephen Amell, obviously, he also looked like he understood the product too. It looks like he's a watcher of WWE as well. But having him come out and then playing the whole is he gonna turn thing? But he walked straight into the ring and went straight into that mode. Not like he was going straight for Seth Rollins, like you would assume this entire thing has been built to, because they've been fucking with each other and feuding and shit. And then he hits John Cena and hits him in the gut and throws the chair down and then nails the pedigree, and Seth Rollins gets the win and wins the United States Championship and retains his World Championship. Just what the fuck? Just confusing as fuck, and what the fuck was that? And we had nothing from Jon Stewart for the rest of the night. Just nothing. That was it. What? It's another thing where it was just a piece of the puzzle that was out there to protect fucking politics, man, to protect guys that they don't want to, let people get over on. Obviously, a guy Seth Rollins, they don't want him getting over on fucking anybody because he's your, young champion that you're trying to establish, great young talent going into the future. We don't want to have people fucking...
Don't want him to win clean
Don't
against
want
Cena.
him to win clean against Cena because we don't want to establish those
Kevin
guys.
Owens beat him clean?
Kevin Owens beat him in his first fucking match. But Seth Rollins can't. He's been champion for 6 fucking months.
There is rumor of some gigantic angle going on tomorrow
and
night.
And who knows what that's going to even be involved with, if it even has to do with these guys. Yeah. But just to have absolutely no interview after, having fucking douche-ass Byron Saxton go grab Jon Stewart and be like, hey, I thought you were feuding with Seth Rollins. What the fuck was that? Nothing. Just... to me, it's just a cop-out. I mean, it's just a way to get, Cena out looking fucking like Cena and to get Rollins out looking like a cheap-ass fucking heel. And that's fine. If you want to just... I wish WWE would just put in some fucking 2006 fucking Edge and just look at how to book a fucking cheap fucking heel the proper way. Because there's a proper way to do it. Look at everything that Edge built his amazing rated R character on and everything that he did. There's a proper way to do it. And this just isn't it. I mean, you're having Jon Stewart help Seth Rollins beat fucking John Cena. I mean, what the fuck, man? No explanation. And even if that's the problem, even if they had an explanation for this, there would be nothing. There would be nothing to explain what the fuck they did. What would he say? I actually like him. Okay? What the fuck? this is just retarded. I don't know if maybe it was just a ploy to just get on some news streams to have Jon Stewart out there in their title match to maybe get over the names, or get over the company or whatever the fuck the case may be. His name's already tied to SummerSlam by saying he's the host of it. Don't have him come out there and fuck over the World Championship match. I was not a fan of this, as you can tell, obviously. And it just has absolutely no... You can't sit there and tell me an explanation to why they did this. It was just confusing, and it was fucking retarded and unneeded. This was a great match that got royally fucked over, and this is how I say the wrong way to use a fucking celebrity. You don't use them with talent that just need to go out there and do their thing. They don't need help. They don't need any of this bullshit. Why can't Seth Rollins beat John Cena clean? Why? Give me a fucking explanation. If you're gonna say, well, that's his gimmick, okay, whatever. So Kevin Owens can do it in his first fucking match, and Seth Rollins can't just beat a fucking guy. He beat Dean Ambrose clean in semi-clean in a fucking ladder match. That's his only really clean fucking victory. I mean, why? I mean, seriously. It just blows my damn mind. Seth Rollins coming out as still the world champion and now the new United States champion. Should be hella interesting to see what goes on with tomorrow night's Raw and into the future with Seth Rollins being the first person since fucking, I think, the Ultimate Warrior to hold 2 championships. The World Championship and then now a secondary title, whatever the case may be. So I mean, huge accomplishments for Seth Rollins, whether the bullshit is what it is, but should be extremely interesting to see what goes on. Obviously, you have Night of Champions next month. Every championship is defended. Do you have a Seth Rollins defend both titles? Do I have a problem with that? Fuck no. Having 2 Seth Rollins matches? Hell yeah, that's great. But to see how they end up booking this, to see what they end up doing, who knows? But I have a feeling there needs to be at least some sort of explanation, some sort of fucking something with Jon Stewart tomorrow on Raw or somewhere, because I've got nothing for you, because there isn't anything. But Seth Rollins, still your world champion and your new United States champion.
Yeah, this was a great match. Worked really well. Did a lot of awesome stuff in this match, and as you would expect, these guys would to do. Let me get to that gear, by the way.
I almost was gonna say if you're gonna overpass this shit. I didn't think you were. I should make you stand up right now with how whited out you are right now.
Well, I'm just hanging out,
Seth Rollins wasn't hanging out. He was going at it.
I was more fine with it once he took the top piece.
That's what I said. I said you'd be okay with it once he took the top.
I was not feeling the whole thing, the whole get up. Man, no. It's not that I don't. I don't know. like there should have been, like he said, there should have been some kind of black in there
somewhere.
All white Seth Rollins to me just looks like female figure skater. Like I just cannot get that picture out of my mind, or like just like male figure skater. I just can't.
All I couldn't get out of my mind this entire match was the Red Hot Chili Pepper song at the beginning of the Power Rangers movie.
Oh yeah,
that's all I couldn't get out of my head. People keep on paying when they're jumping out of the fucking helicopter, and the fucking White Power Rangers is the only one with the surfboard, surfboard, or snowboard, or whatever.
Yeah.
People keep on paying. I just want to go watch that movie. I think that's Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think
that was like the covered version.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, whatever. The gear's whatever. As soon as you took the top part off, I was like, okay, made this a little bit better. But man. Seth Rollins, man, stick to black, man. Just stay with black,
man.
And don't do any other colors either. Just black, murder, straight murder of crows. But anyway, this match was good. This was definitely the best match on the show.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to how good these guys are in the ring. But I'm not sure if they. I'm not sure if they. This was they didn't want to get a guy over on another guy. I think that's kind of the consensus. Like we think that it might be. I feel like they just wanted to use Jon Stewart for something. I just get that vibe like they just wanted to use Jon Stewart for something.
Why that?
In a match. And you know what the funny thing is I don't know how they did this. I don't know like what the point of it was. I'd be more okay with this.
Why not? Okay, how about this? Because the opening of it was all about the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar.
Right, that's what I was going to get to.
Why not have him come out and have a little thing like, hey, it's been great to be the host like towards the main event.
Right.
Hey, it's been great to be the host of SummerSlam, blah 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 here in Brooklyn. Have the Undertaker or have Brock Lesnar come out or something and have some sort of thing with Heyman. And they had a little backstage segment with Heyman.
Right.
And actually thought that went off pretty well. He was explaining how he's a great wrestling fan and he's he felt really just broken down or whatever as a wrestling fan, seeing the streak being ended by the Undertaker or by Brock Lesnar. And how does it make you feel, Paul Heyman, to all the wrestling fans that came there to see Christmas Day and all this bullshit?
Oh, dude,
Uh-oh.
Okay, so Jon Stewart is a old school wrestling fan.
Right.
Okay. The streak of the Undertaker. He got upset when that got beat.
You're so excited to look at this right
He got upset when that got beat.
Correct. Well,
Maybe he didn't want John Cena to beat Ric Flair's record. No, I'm serious.
They could say that, I guess.
I honestly think that might be it.
They could, but they should have played up Ric Flair more. They should have played him saying that more. To at least make you think that, because you just had to pull it out of your ass.
I literally just thought of that.
Yeah,
because the setup of this was if he won, this was a streak that was going to be big. And he was talking, and backstage, they made this whole setup where it made you think that Jon Stewart was going to do something in the main event. He not only talked about Lesnar in the opening with McFoley, he also did a segment backstage with Paul Heyman where he was talking to him about the
Why not have him and Ric Flair do a promo segment at the beginning then? Talking about, hey, what would you feel like if John Cena...
They didn't want to give it away, maybe. I feel like if this is not the case tomorrow on Raw, he just didn't want a streak to get broke, I feel like that could be it.
That's still okay with you, though? Okay?
It's not that it's okay.
It makes sense, I guess.
But if it is, that makes a lot of sense.
Then your dick's going to be hard because you came up with the idea.
Yes.
And you're going to be super excited.
I was going to be like...
And you're going to be like, you see that, motherfucker? Fuck yeah, call that shit.
Dude, it'd be great if that was the truth. I would be ecstatic if that was...
I know you would. Because I know how fucking happy you get when you call shit. Because you call shit 24/7, and if they're right, they're right. If they're wrong, they're more than likely wrong. But
right.
You're excited about that shit.
Oh, God.
Could be. You never know. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Title match.
Yes, title match. But I just, it just light bulb went off in my head.
I saw your mind explode as soon as you...
Yeah, I think it could possibly be he didn't want to have Cena beat Ric Flair's record. That is a big, record to be broke.
I understand that.
So maybe that's the case.
They only played it up the last segment on Raw, though. They really didn't play that up as much. I mean, they did play it up.
That's true.
They played it up. I mean, I'll give you that.
But Stewart is definitely playing up the angle of him being a fan of.
Okay, if you're saying that, why wouldn't just Triple H come out? Why wouldn't you just have Triple H come out? Because Triple H has done a lot of shit for Seth Rollins already. Why wouldn't you just have Triple H?
Because
why would you have Jon Stewart help him?
Because the segment where he was talking about Undertaker being his guy and him being mad at Lesnar for breaking the streak, which is something that he, as a fan, really liked, and it was something that he didn't want to see.
Right. What does that have to do with Seth Rollins and Ric Flair?
It has to,
and John Cena.
It has to do with Jon Stewart didn't want John Cena to win because he would tie his record.
I understand that, but you keep telling me the reason is because that he didn't like the fact that Lesnar beat Taker.
But it's the reason
because he's an old school guy. I get it.
He didn't want to see streaks broke. He didn't want to see Cena tie Flair for the most title wins. He didn't want to see Taker lose the streak.
I will give you that. I'll give you.
Maybe that's the case.
Maybe that could be the case.
We'll see.
Why not do it on SummerSlam to at least explain it so we have reasoning?
I have no idea.
That would be a problem.
But you know what? It's interesting because they have 3 shows in a row in Brooklyn.
It's true.
So if the same fans are coming,
he'll probably be there.
If the same fans are coming, all 3 nights in a row, or at least SummerSlam the next night,
more than likely are.
That makes sense. But if that's not how it goes, or something along those lines, but like I said, I would be more okay with this ending if there was an explanation, and if it was handled better, because Jon Stewart did not seem like
that would have been great. All you needed to do was, if he was going to do that, still I think it would have made more sense to do the Triple H thing. But then everybody thinks that Tripp would end up feuding with Cena, or whatever the fuck. But if we're gonna do that, have Byron Saxton come do the running interview where they're like right after the match or whatever up the apron, and to be like blah, 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 and be like streaks are meant to be broken or something like that, and he could have just left and not said anything else. That would have been
genius. That would.
Why not do that if that's the case of what I mean? We're probably just talking out of our asses right now, but But that is an option they could do with.
Right. But the fact that, also, like I said, the way that the ending was handled, where he came in, you couldn't tell what he was doing, and he kind of gave away that he was going to hit Cena, and then he threw the chair away, and then realized he still needed it for a pedigree. It just, to me, he kind of was fumbling around.
Yeah, it was bad.
The match itself as a whole was good, and if you take this for what it was as the match, it was great. The best match on the show.
Easy.
So
yeah, definitely.
But we'll see. We'll see tomorrow.
We'll see what happens there. Because I'll tell you right now, if you guys see it, you'll know as soon as that happens, Ryan will have a massive boner as soon as that goes down. Called it. Next matchup, we had the 3-team elimination tag match with Team Pornhub going up against Team Bella and Team Bad.
Oh, yeah. Those are some great names. As of officially now, I don't care. I'm still calling this team Submission Sorority.
Okay.
I don't care.
Why not just call them the Submission Sisters? The submission pals.
Submission Sisters. That would have sisters. You know what? Even changing it that much, the fans wouldn't even really know.
No,
they'd just be like, "What?
Yeah.
What?"
They do that all the time, where they half change somebody's theme music next week, and it's sounds a little bit different. They don't give a fuck. It's whatever.
I don't know why they completely changed it. The PCB.
PCB.
But it sounds like a horrible drug made in 2040.
It sounds like a shitty drug they make up for one of those just terrible ass crime movies. This shit's hitting the fucking streets, dude. PCB, bro.
Yeah, definitely get that vibe.
Yeah,
that's definitely what I was thinking. Literally, we have the same brain sometimes.
We really do.
It is true.
It's scary.
This was the longest women's match I think I've seen on a pay-per-view in probably 5 years.
We'll have to get Robert with the statistician
on the stats.
Statistician. It was 16 minutes or something.
16 minutes.
Which the main event, or not the main event, the championship match got, I think, 19. Robert said.
Yeah.
So
this was cool. They did a lot of cool stuff in this. Got the crowd behind it. They didn't boo. They weren't bored. We weren't bored. It was fun. Clearly not what we saw the night before.
Oh no.
On NXT, if you haven't seen that Bayley Shotzi Banks match, do yourself a favor and check that out.
Yeah.
But this is what I thought maybe they were going to do. Team Bad lost or got pinned out first. The crowd was super hot for Sasha Banks. They
deservingly
love her.
Yeah.
And then it was down to the Bellas and PCB. I just keep thinking it's like a drug. I don't know.
You just keep wanting to say PCP.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say PCP. But yeah, and then they got down to those two teams, and then Becky Lynch getting the pin on Nikki or Brie Bella. Yeah. So they had put some time into this. They did a lot of spots. They did a lot of cool stuff. They set the match up as a total hot tag type thing, where throughout the whole match you only saw Charlotte for 2 whole minutes, and Alicia Fox got 3 or 4 minutes in the match. So they did this whole hot tag thing where when someone got tagged and the crowd got hot and boo, and they did a bunch of spots, and It was good. It's a good start to what they're doing. Now, let's not do this anymore.
Yeah.
Let's be done.
Yes.
Let's be done with this 3-team bullshit. Let's let these girls go out there, have matches. You have a lot of girls now. You have a lot of time on TV. There's nothing wrong with having 2 women's matches or feud 2 teams together and then have a title feud.
You got 3 fucking hours on fucking Mondays.
Right.
Jesus.
You got plenty of women talent right now. There's no reason why.
Yeah, on a one night, 1 hour show and the feuds that get built up on NXT, you got fucking 5 hours of Raw and SmackDown to build some great stuff up with these women and everything in general.
Yep.
To get some shit going for sure.
Single stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, this was fine. Like you said, after I realized it, I didn't really understand. Like they were like, oh, that was like 16 minutes. I was like, holy shit, that was 16 minutes. It was definitely a good idea not to do because when this first started, I thought this was gonna go I thought it was booked like Survivor Series traditional tag match where it was just individuals would get eliminated from the team and they had to end up eliminating like 9 fucking people to win the match or whatever the numbers is. I'm shitty at math. But they just went the route if somebody on the team got pinned, then they got eliminated. Definitely happy they went that route. But yeah, this was fine. And like you said, just be done with this shit. Just you got so much fucking talent here. I almost feel like it's a cop-out just to put them in teams because they feel like they have so much talent. Weed out the shit and get the shit out of the way and focus on the talent that deserves to be focused on. And you go that route. And it should be some great stuff. If you do what, we've seen in every fucking seemingly anything going on with women, the women's division in NXT, if you go any way that route, it's going to be gold. And everything that they've done has been absolutely fantastic. So, continue that, and it'll be great stuff. Team, Red Tube. Any other ones?
Red Tube, Pornhub.
Oh, God. YouPorn. YouJizz.
I don't know.
We're terrible human beings. Paige, Charlotte, and Becky getting the win in that elimination tag matchup there. Next matchup, we had a singles matchup here with Kevin Owens going up against Cesaro. Obviously after Kevin Owens' great effort the night prior, I liked saying that, the night prior. I felt really solid there. I was feeling that statement.
Nice.
The night prior on the TakeOver show. And that ladder match with Finn Balor, another one you guys should check out. Some good stuff and a really quality ladder match there. Coming in here, he was jacked for all this, man. He was jacked for that ladder match last night. He was jacked for this matchup here with Cesaro. These guys have seen them, each other quite a bit on the indies and over the years. And they just work well together. They have great chemistry, and they just know each other. And I think everybody that put this match together knew that, and they knew that they could go out there and deliver a great matchup. That's exactly what they did. This was some great stuff. Really nothing, it was just a great match, It was just a really solid match between these guys, and they could have these every single night. Could it be better? Absolutely. But this is pretty much what you get with these guys. It's just great effort, great work. Cesaro out there is just, a fucking stud and just an absolute just freak of nature. Doing his shit, and Owens, right along with them and getting everything in here. We finally saw, I think it was the first, we've been waiting forever to see that flip leg drop. We wanted to see him do that in the Cena match. He finally pulled it off in here, so that was cool to see. Some sort of a little couple sketchy spots up on the top rope where it looked like they're all just going to fucking collapse and fall and die. But they saved themselves, and they actually saved a really important one, too, in that title match where we didn't talk about, that one where they ended up doing the buckle bomb.
Yeah.
Where Cena almost fell off the rope, and Cena fucking, with his ridiculous, just goddamn
man
Superman, just man strength, saved that one. And, this is just great, man. It's just, like I said, these guys can, it doesn't surprise us. I mean, it's exactly what these guys are capable of. We've seen this time and time again with these guys and these type of guys, these indie guys and stuff like that. It's just, they know what they're doing. They have chemistry with each other. They know how they work. They just know what the fuck they're doing, and they could do this every single night if they wanted to. And this was another quality, effort between both of these guys. And Kevin Owens getting the win after the pop-up powerbomb here. Kind of intriguing to see that. Obviously not going to 2 losses on the weekend, so that's good. Obviously there's a lot of word on people backstage kind of losing faith in Kevin Owens and stuff like this. We talked about it in the preview, and just, fucking pisses me off. We could go on and on about that, but kind of just random and sporadic, the booking of Kevin Owens lately. All the great stuff that he did when he first came up, getting the win over John Cena, and then that falling off, and kind of, failing in really everything going on with the booking of that feud, towards the tail end of it. And then just kind of doing hit shit here and there, with him. And, hopefully we could get on a solid track of, maybe seeing these guys continue to work up the card, because it's fresh and it's what people want. I mean, they want these new guys that are, great athletes. And, Cesaro, obviously don't look at Kevin Owens and say great athlete, but he's an amazing worker and, better than 90% of your fucking roster. We both would say that. But they're just fresh guys, and they're hungry, and they want it, and we want to see them because they fucking deserve it, and they've worked their asses off for it. So, great effort between both guys here, and Kevin Owens getting the win in this matchup.
Yep, this was a good match here. I was definitely expecting where this went. This is pretty much exactly what I thought it was going to be, and I really like this match. And I've seen this kind of stuff before from them, just working together in general in the Indies, and just so crisp. Just everything they did was smooth. They had one little spot where almost a little trip up on a top rope, but they saved it. It didn't fall apart. They fixed it. Everything was fine, and then they went on with their way, about 15 minutes long or so, and it was just a good mid-card style match. That was the second match of the main event, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like this match wanted to be better, and they maybe wanted to make it better, but they knew, the main event was coming, and they stuck this match here to, just kind of be, okay, 15 minutes, go out there and have a good match. Don't go out there and have an amazing match, which we know that these guys can do.
Yeah.
And, if they continue this, we will definitely get an amazing match out of this. And hopefully they continue to do some stuff like this down the road. Any combination of, these worker guys just having mid-card matches on shows for whatever reason, who cares? The matches are good. It elevates the level of a pay-per-view. It elevates the talent around everywhere because these guys are having good matches seemingly for no reason. No, it's not elevating either one of these guys, or it's not taking them anywhere. It's really just, I guess it could be elevating them because they're having good matches,
proving themselves. I would say,
proving
as
themselves
as far as WWE goes, and
right.
getting noticed and stuff like that.
Right, and proving themselves in that aspect, but seemingly having no
anything
major
behind it.
Yeah, no major feud,
right?
No title, no major storyline that's involved with these guys. Just
right.
He's jealous of me, I'm jealous of him. We're gonna have a match,
right?
And that's pretty much it. And they put on a great match here, and I have no problem with that.
Yep. Next up, we had the main event. It was 15, 16 months in the making, whatever, the rematch from WrestleMania 30 and Undertaker losing a streak. We had The Undertaker going up against Brock Lesnar.
Oh, boy. So when this match started, there was 40 minutes left of the show. And I'm sitting here thinking, we're like, dear God, they're going to give this match 30 minutes. Oh, my God. Are they really going to give this match 30 minutes? And I just kept thinking in my head, is Brock Lesnar going to squash him for 20 minutes and then he's just going to win just out of nowhere? Are they going to book it like that? Oh, man, I was confused about how it was going to be. It's just one of those matches that you don't want to see, but you really, really want to see. Like a car crash.
Yep.
You think it's going to be a car crash. And this, by leaps and bounds, was better than the WrestleMania match. But I think it was. I always say this, and Jamin always gets me and corrects me. And I'm always like, God, Undertaker looks old, and he's like, Undertaker is old. And what I mean by that is Undertaker looks
older than he is.
Older than he is. Clearly, he's been wrestling for 25, 30 years. He looks like he's 50, but he moves around like he's 75. He's broke down.
Yeah.
He took some hell of a spots in this. He took Germans. He took a F5 through a table.
Yeah.
God, he took some stuff in this.
He also, as soon as he just got bum rushed from
the
start.
Dude, he looked okay. The first 10 seconds of this match, you literally is like when you watch a fight on World Star. It looks like it was just Undertaker cut in front of Brock Lesnar at McDonald's. And just Brock Lesnar like, you better get out of the way, and just threw him on the ground. He had a jacket on.
Got my 50-piece McNugget coming, motherfucker.
Yeah, like, this came off, how I think that the WrestleMania match they wanted it to come to be. Undertaker didn't get a concussion. Man, he was gassed.
Yeah.
I mean, he finished the match. Both guys finished the match, and it went off well. I thought the match itself was well.
Yeah.
They did what they could for what it was.
The match was well. That match was well right there.
Well, it was well because...
I wish we could think of what you said before.
The match was well because the match wasn't sickening.
Yes. I don't know if that even... No, actually. I said yes, but I don't think that made any fucking sense at all. Yes, I was reading...
Shit. The match was good.
Call back to Little Nicky. I was giving you the friend... I was giving you the friend props there.
Gotcha.
It wasn't sickly.
Right. Sure. But, this is where it gets screwy, Towards the end of this match, they did a lot of trading off of submissions and different things. And Lesnar had Taker in a Kimura, and all of a sudden you hear the bell ring. And the match is over. And then Paul Heyman gets in the ring and he's like, oh yeah, and Brock Lesnar's won, and oh yeah, and then the ref's like, I didn't tell you to ring the bell. Don't ring the bell. You ring the bell when I tell you to ring the bell. So we're thinking, screw job? What's going on here? The ref's like, no, I didn't do this. What did somebody else ring the bell? What's going on here? And then all of a sudden the ref's like, start the match back up. Undertaker low blows Lesnar from behind, puts him in the Hell's Gate. Lesnar never taps out. He puts his middle finger up and just leaves his hand in the middle finger until Lesnar passes out and loses. So Taker wins the match. Then after the match is over, they don't go back to the footage and see what really happened until after that part, and see that when he was in the Kimura, he did tap on Lesnar's leg. Heyman saw it, and the timekeeper saw it, so they rang the bell, and they thought they won, and Lesnar thought he won. Taker was tapping out. He was tapping out, and I don't know. I have no idea why this was booked like this. We have a couple different theories. Mine's a little different than his. But the whole thing with the low blow when he came back, and then the low blow here to win the match the way he did here, and then the way Lesnar left, he didn't lose the match. Like, he didn't get mad and start destroying stuff and beating up referees. He stood in the ring and couldn't believe that he lost. And then he walked out and he just threw his hands up, and the crowd was cheering for him. I know that I must have been blind or not paying attention or something, but I never really got that vibe like, okay, well, Lesnar was face, but he wasn't really face. Like, he was kind of just a badass being himself, and he never really, like, to the fans, he was still being himself, but to the fans, they were kind of like, he was like tweening a little, like where he was kind of a bad guy, and he was kind of a face, and he was facing heels, and the crowd was cheering for him, and in Minneapolis he was huge, and I don't know, I just feel like maybe this wasn't, the point of it was to do a flip, to make Lesnar a super face and make Taker a heel, because through the last couple weeks when Taker's been on there and he's been here, Taker's gotten booed and Lesnar's gotten cheered, and that isn't really how they were trying to do this. I think that maybe they wanted, I just feel like, I don't know why, and we've talked about this before, why does it matter if both guys are face? Why does it matter if both people are cheered or booed? Like, I don't know, I just, the formula of heel versus face seems interesting to me in 2015 wrestling, where sometimes that's just irrelevant. Like, the crowd makes the match for you and makes the heat and makes
there's a lot
the
more,
angle, and
there's a lot more gray area.
Right. This match was gray. It had a gray area finish. The match itself was good and a lot better than the WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
But to me, the way this finished, I just feel like there's I don't know. I just feel like they're doing a flip, heel turn, face turn flip. Really focusing on Lesnar being face, and maybe they're not focusing on Taker being heel, but depending on what he's leading into to go into other pay-per-views or to finish at WrestleMania. And I understand, the point he may make about going into WrestleMania, his being his last WrestleMania, why would you want to make Taker heel? But I don't know, it just seemed weird. It seemed like there was just no reason to do this other than to, obviously you don't want to get one guy over on the other. Maybe that'd be the case. But I just feel like that heel turn face, hardcore face turn for Lesnar is happening, and the heel turn for Taker is taking place. And I think we'll try to find out what happens on Raw. Maybe they explain some of the stuff that's going on. But to me, I just feel like the double flip here.
Yeah, this is along the same lines as the title match. I really was enjoying everything that was going on. The same lines as the title for title match. Everything was great, and then obviously had Jon Stewart come in and fuck everything up. And then the end of this, the main event here, and just ended up fucking everything up too. I couldn't stand the way this was booked. I was not a fan of it at all. It makes not really everybody look bad. It just makes Taker look bad. It makes Lesnar come off as an uber monster that can't be stopped, and it makes Taker come off as a vengeful old man that's just upset that he lost his streak. And it's not even I'm going to come off like a giant Undertaker mark, and it's not that. It's just that I want it booked properly. They've put the most care and the most dedication into booking this character. It's had the most production to it. It's had the most effort into it. It's had stories that's gone on for 20 fucking years. And to fuck it all up in the last portion of his career is just blind, fucking mind-blowing. I mean, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. And of course, it's really early to tell, obviously, what's going on and what they're going to end up doing and what this is all going to, come out of it and everything. But I'll just talk about the match first. Overall, it was good. And to me, I'm in the same mindset as Ryan is this was what they wanted at WrestleMania 30. This is the match that they really wanted to deliver, and obviously the concussion that happened to Taker and everything that wasn't able to go to that route and to that extent. This is great. This is just a goddamn train wreck mixed with a car crash, mixed with a fucking hurricane, mixed with sweat. And just fucking blood. Just blood and just fucking mixed with some fucking just a tombstone spot that just Lesnar just no soul started laughing right in Taker's face, and Taker's like, motherfucker. That segment was
that laughing.
That part was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And the table spot with the F5 to the outside, and everything, and the last ride out of the Kimura from the corner, and the tombstone spot and this and that. And going into this finish spot, and we had this feeling that there could be some shenanigans going down tonight. It happened in the title match, and it didn't happen in the matches that you expected, like we were talking about. And it happened here, man. And it's just, when have you ever fucking seen a timekeeper ring the bell before the referee calls for anything? Montreal 97 is the only one, and that had a lot more behind it. That had a hell of a lot more, and it wasn't booked that way. I mean, it was booked that way in Vince and Sean's mind, but not the way that a fucking wrestling match would go. That's one of the most really controversial thing that's ever happened in a fucking wrestling ring, probably. And that was the only other time where you had somebody forcibly tell them to ring the bell to get about a screw job, and everything ended up that happened in Montreal and went on from there. But when have you ever seen in a regular wrestling match to book around an angle where a guy taps out, the ref doesn't see it, but the timekeeper sees it? Because, man, thank God they got an astute timekeeper there to pay attention to when the Undertaker, from that angle, I guess he could see him tapping from that side, even though he's facing some other fucking side. And then they go back and, they do the low blow spot and put him in the Hell's Gate, and then... Still, after all of this, after the Undertaker's already noticeably, after video footage, tapped out to Brock Lesnar, then they have him low blow him, put him in the Hell's Gate, and he can't even make him tap. He's just sitting there like, yeah, fuck you, you old bastard. Like, what? Like, how do you book the Undertaker that way? After everything you've done his entire career, and you're going to, seemingly, it's looking like it's coming to an end, you're going to start the beginning of the end of that this fucking way? You have him be knocked out and, be concussed and lose his streak in that shitty-ass fucking match that they had at WrestleMania 30 and lose the most prestigious thing that The Undertaker had going, besides his entire career and legacy. But the biggest thing that, really was noticeable in wrestling was the fucking streak, man. And you have it in that way, and then you continue with what they're doing with Lesnar. I mean, if push comes to shove, I mean, what the bottom line is just this match shouldn't have happened. This just didn't need to be booked entirely. If this is how it was going to go down, it's going to hurt everybody involved. Because, if they went the route of having Taker just beat Lesnar and get the win back, it's going to hurt Lesnar's momentum. If you have him, have Lesnar destroy Taker again, what the fuck does that do to the 20-year plus legacy of The Undertaker and the cornerstone of your fucking company? What does that do? To a seemingly part-time guy to come in here and take out the fucking WWE's ultimate guy. And, who he might get tired of doing what the fuck he's doing. I mean, he's locked into a contract or whatever. But, yeah, he could just fucking leave and go do something else. And you're going to ruin one of the most, historic and meaningful legacies in the history of professional wrestling. In a span of a fucking year and a half. I just don't understand. I really just don't understand this. I don't understand why this even fucking happened, if this is the way you were going to do it. Because you don't go the way of Taker going over, you don't go the way of Lesnar going over, you just go the way of, well, we had to make Lesnar continue to look strong, and
they just wanted it for maybe the first SummerSlam.
Yeah, they just wanted this match. They just wanted to book it, but the lasting effect is everybody wants to see it because they want to see what happens. And this is what happened. And not fucking cool with it, man. It's just and like Ryan was talking about, he was thinking they might be going heel. Why do that?
Yeah.
Why have his entire yeah, he's had his things here and there. He's evolved his character. He's done things from time to time that he's changed shit up because he had to change with the times because he's one of the most notable people that have done that in pro wrestling. Why take the time and the energy to try and flip the Undertaker heel to just have a little 6-month run that are going to run into his hometown, into his home state for his last WrestleMania match, seemingly? So you're going to have him go to the Hall of Fame as a heel, and then to be like, oh, I had an amazing career, but hope you hate me tomorrow. What? I don't know. To me, I don't think they're going to go that route. I think, to me, it's just the vengeful and the evil side of The Undertaker. Just a pissed off veteran who just got the biggest part of his legacy taken away from him. And he's just pissed off. And I think they said, Roman Reigns even said it in the promo package where he's like, that's the levels that The Undertaker will go because that's how important the streak was to them. And I think that's really what they're trying to get over. To me, that's what they're getting over. The importance of how... Because normally it was oh, Undertaker had a match and he knew it was lock solid. Don't fuck with me. It's WrestleMania time. Don't fuck with me. I'm going to take your ass out. And he did it. And somebody came in and took him out. And now he's like, well, motherfucker, fuck that. You just took the most important thing I have. So I'm going to fucking whoop your ass. And I don't care how I got to do it. I don't care what I got to do. Because apparently what I did at WrestleMania didn't work. I mean, they would say that and come off like that. Like, hey, my shit didn't work against you. So it looks like I got to do some more fucking shit that's going to have to take you down. So I'm going to cheat and do this kind of shit. Whatever the case may be. And there's been, faces that have been done in the past. And to me, I never say, Undertaker, that guy's a face. Because when you say face, you think John Cena. To me, Undertaker he's demonic. That's a facet of his character, and he's not out there, kissing babies and high-fiving motherfuckers. Yes, is his character liked? Yes, he's just liked. Stone Cold was liked. Randy Orton is liked.
Yeah, maybe what he did was just okay. Maybe he was just vengeful, like you said. I do still get that. Maybe he's not going heel, but I still get that vibe of them trying to make Lesnar super.
But see, that's the thing, and I was telling him in pre-production, before we shot this video. To me, I think Brock Lesnar has been face since the end of WrestleMania. If you look at the segment that they did the night after WrestleMania, where he came out all super pissed off, the crowd was hot as fuck for him because they couldn't stand Roman Reigns, and the casual fans, couldn't stand Seth Rollins. So who did they have to turn to? Brock Lesnar. I mean, that's the one person they had to turn to. So it was a natural progression to turn him Stone Cold face.
I think the problem, too, more when we think about it, and we've been talking about it just through this video, is both Undertaker and Lesnar, neither one of them are playing a heel face.
No.
They're just
They're both there. They're both on the line.
They're both on the line of just kind of doing whatever.
They just do their own thing.
How many faces do the finger? Austin? That was his character. And Suplex City bitch, and I'm gonna kill you.
Undertaker. You see Randy Orton out there as a face, and he was going to punt a guy in the fucking head today, or on the pay-per-view, and the fans were wanting it really bad because they like Randy Orton. Yeah. And a part of his character is being a fucking basically a face serial killer. Is basically what his character was whenever he was face. Obviously, when he was heel, he was more vindictive and crazy and shit and all that kind of stuff when it was awesome. But I mean, you have those characters. Dean Ambrose. Yeah, I mean, he's out there, high-fiving occasionally, but he's a mental, crazy fucking person. I mean, you just got those guys that aren't out there kissing babies and high-fiving and this and that. You have your guys that are just light. And I think Undertaker is a guy that his character is not a face. His character is set in a demonic-type background where he's the dead man and he's going to take your soul. Does that scream babyface to you? No, it just screams that he's a likable, fucking awesome character. So I really don't think it's a turn one way or another. But to me, I feel like Brock Lesnar has just been on the line leaning towards a Stone Cold face. More of he does his own thing and everybody loves it because he's a badass. And that's the thing. To me, I felt like he's been that since the night after WrestleMania. He took out the Authority, obviously the biggest heel faction and heel thing going in WWE, and they took everybody out, and they brought him back in, and then he feuded with Seth Rollins, obviously the biggest heel that was going in the company at that time. And your heel, cocky, a fucking champion and everything like that. So I have no idea where they go from here, honestly. But yeah, I can't stand this fucking booking. Just if you do it this way, don't fucking do it, And I know it's one of those things where they almost had to, because you had to have that rematch and him trying to get the win back. But you go this route with it, and the timekeeper notices the Undertaker tapping out and rings the bell, and then you redo it, and it just makes Undertaker look weak as shit. And it's not that I'm trying to sit here trying to have Undertaker look like the fucking number one person in the company right now, but you're going to need to at least reestablish how important his legacy is to this fucking company. Because if you end it with what you're doing right now and you continue this fucking route of shit, man, you're tarnishing something that you could have really did some great stuff with and could have ended fucking epically. It's early. We'll see where it goes. I'll give it time. But as of right now, tonight, sitting here after SummerSlam just went off the air, man, I'm not feeling that at all. But we'll see where it goes. And we have plenty of time. Obviously,
I just definitely wanted to say that I feel like this, as a whole, as a wrestling show,
it's fun.
It was fun, and it was good. It was a good show.
Yeah.
And I feel like was one of the better SummerSlams that they've ever had.
It's awesome to have it 4 hours, too. I hope they keep that a thing.
Right.
Awesome.
And like I said, you're going to get the great wrestling quality out of this show. And there's definitely plenty of matches on here that made this, one of the better SummerSlams that ever happened. So you can definitely go out of your way to watch this. There's some interesting stuff on here if you haven't seen it. Definitely get your own opinion on some of the things that are happening. But
yeah, let us know what you guys think. Let us know, how you feel like some of those booking decisions went with, obviously the championship match and the title match and this main event here with Taker and Lesnar. Let us know how you felt about it. Let us know how you feel about, the progression of where this could end up going, on down the road. We'd like to see your guys' opinions on that for sure. But a fun show. And yeah, it was fun to sit through. We were expecting a lot of stuff and got some different stuff out of it and got some good quality stuff. But the lasting impression of this entire weekend and really the most notable thing coming out of it is the amazing work put on Saturday night on that TakeOver show with Sasha Banks and fucking Bayley. I mean, they were the shining moment of this weekend with that amazing matchup that they had, and really it just really sparking something, man. They continue every single fucking opportunity. Those women that are on that NXT roster and everything that have been on that NXT roster that are doing some just amazing stuff and continue that to see in the future. But in our opinions, in our eyes, that was the match of the weekend. And if you guys have not checked that out, go out of your way to do so, because it was some great stuff, and that was some fucking awesome shit. So, but yeah, this show was fun, and it was it was some good stuff, and got some quality material out of this, and definitely a lot of stuff to talk about coming out of it, as you could see, and if you sat through this whole motherfucker. But yeah, extremely intrigued to see what happens tomorrow night on Raw, to see how they come out of a lot of this and the aftermath of SummerSlam. I know I've read online, and like Ryan was saying, there should be, we're talking of some sort of big angle or something big happening on Raw tomorrow night, and looking like setting up something in the future maybe. But yeah, should be interesting already, past SummerSlam. This year's fucking flying by, man. It's crazy. But yeah, really intrigued to see what goes down, to hopefully get some explanation for some stuff and get some continuation of some stuff tomorrow night on Raw, and see the progression of where a lot of these stories and feuds and stuff like that and everything going on is going to be going in the future. And extremely intrigued to see where a lot of that stuff's going and what happens tomorrow night on Raw. But yeah, this will now wrap up WWE SummerSlam 2015 review for my partner Ryan. I am J-Man, and thank you for watching another edition of Pro Wrestling Pulse, Professional Wrestling World.